Hello everyone, this is Gabriel, the Forex Helper, and I'm here with another video for the case for long-term investing, and I will be going over the Australia 200, and the results that we have for this particular trade was a positive 148,960 pips or points. And I wanted to actually talk about the pips here, the amount, because for the first three videos now, these most recent videos, you'll notice that the pips are very high. And some of you may wonder, why is that? How can pips be so much? How can they be so high? And that actually is a very good question, because that's going to actually lead us into a certain understanding, and that understanding has to do with assets. Different assets will produce different types of yield, different yield results. Now we have to ask ourselves, what type of asset is this? What type of asset is the Australia 200? Well, for some of you guys who know already, it's what's known as an index, and it's a part of the indices. All right? So you'll notice that indices will produce more point gains, and an indice or an index is something like the NASDAQ. Here goes the NASDAQ one down here. This one's the opposite. We didn't make anything on that one. Here goes the S&P 500. This is also an index. Here goes the Dow Jones. So these are index. Okay, so you'll see that on average, an index will produce more yield. So if you're looking for an investment that will produce a greater yield in points, then you would look towards an asset like the index that we have here, right? So that is why you'll find more points or pips when you're investing in an asset like the Australia 200 or the Nikkei or the NASDAQ or the S&P 500 or Dow Jones, things like that. Then when you start to look at other assets, you'll see that you don't get 100,000 points. You might get just in the thousands. Okay, so here goes one that's in the thousands, but it's pretty high. And now this is a Forex asset. This is dollar versus the Swedish krona. So that's still pretty high. All right, so different assets will produce different results, different yields. All right, so that is why you'll find such a high pip gain, point gain, because it depends on what you're investing in. All right, let's take a look at the Australia 200. We were holding on to this for 300 days. 300 days for this one. All right, almost a year, 65 days short of a year, but it's still pretty long hold. Now remember, I'll say it again, the net profit here, this is not at all in US dollars. These are in bits. Now when I go to a US dollar account, I'll be able to show you that. But for now, we're looking at Bitcoin account. All right, so we decided to take this asset, decided to invest in this asset, the Australia 200. We took the buy position and we held it long term. We held it for 300 days. And I'll say it again. Some of you will be intimidated just to know that you could hold something for that long. It's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The whole purpose of this this video series is to help you realize that it's absolutely okay to hold your asset for a considerable amount of time, especially if you're going to use the strategy that we provide. you'll be able to know which direction to hold your asset. If you should hold it in a buy direction like these here, or if you should hold it in the sell direction like this one here, or that one, or this one, and even these here. And I'll talk more about what happened with these two as when we get to that point. We'll talk about why was there such a huge negative drop and what could have been done and prevented so that this could have been a positive. Okay. All right. So let's get to the trading view website and let's take a look and let's see the date ranges here. Again, something similar to the ones before. Definitely the same start date, which was March 31st, 2020. But the let go date, the close date, was on January 25th. All right, first month of the year, 2021, and we're able to collect on that. So let's see, March to January. So I'm going to, of course, get my rectangle tool here. I'm going to look for March 2020, right on the cusp. So technically it's April. Okay. All right. Okay, then we will go to not February, January. All right. So from this is the area of interest. All right. So the area of interest is right here. Now, let us look at the points where we purchased this asset, the Australia 200. We purchased this at 53.23 and we closed it at 68.13. 53.23 and 68.13. All right. So keep an eye here on the point area. 53.23. It's 53. That's close enough. 53 to 68. Somewhere 68. I think it was 68.13 if I'm not mistaken. All right, I'll double check and see. 68.13. Yeah. All right. Good. All right. So we can see here again. We can see here the obvious buy trend. We can see the obvious buy trend, and most importantly, we can see that the obvious buy trend did form. Because remember, we're looking back. This is a look back in the past. And we were able to see now that that was definitely the right move. And perfect timing, I might add. It was right at the right time where this particular index looked like it suffered quite a drop back in March and back in February, March, and April of 2020. A huge drop in the Australian index, Australian businesses, just around the time when the whole, situation happened with the pandemic and all that. But then, right around April is when it looks like it reached its lowest point, and it decided to go back up, and it reached back into the higher levels again where it used to be, and it seems like it may be continuing to go even further up. All right, but this is where we are as of today. All right, today is April 30th, by the way, April 30th, 2021. So again, like I mentioned in the last video, if we wanted to see now the month of May, which is upon us, 2021, and up until May 2022, we will now need to do some research, and based on our research, ask ourselves, which direction will we go with this asset if we decide to invest in it again? Will we take a sell position, right? If we took a sell, will we take a sell position with this asset, or let's see here, or will we take or will we continue to take a buy position with this asset? This is the question that we must ask ourselves, and this is what will determine what I meant to say is what will determine the direction that we're going to take for the next year, starting from May of this year to May of next year. Which direction to take? Which way will it go? That's a very good question to ask. And that's where our strategy comes into play. The Forex Helper strategy. The Forex Helper strategy is a long-term strategy. Always remember that. Keep that in mind. It is a long-term strategy. The strategy is based on the formula that I came up with, and this formula allows you to make profits when you invest in any asset from any financial market, but you must have patience. You must be able to endure. And it's easy to go back and look at a situation like this, a scenario like this, and we're looking back in the past, but it's a little bit more difficult when you don't know what to expect, when there's nothing written yet in the future, and you don't know which direction to take. That's where the challenge lies, and that's why I highly recommend that you join our network if you really want to learn how to become a wise investor and you really want to understand what it truly means to invest in the market. Even the Forex market, guys, yes, even in the Forex market, you don't have to. Look at this. Look, these are Forex trades, and we have more Forex trades to show you guys. All right, these are Forex trades that are also successful after holding for so long. And we have plenty more to show you. It's not only indices that are successful when you're holding on. You get some more Forex trades that are successful when you hold on long term. Look at these guys. All right, Forex, with the exception of this Dow Jones. All right, Forex trades, you can do the same thing with the Forex market. All right, so that's how we were able to achieve 148,690 pips for the Australia 200 index. Guys, this is Gabriel, the Forex Helper. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for your time. God bless.